Gentlelady from New Jersey, Ms. McIver, for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you so much, Chairman, and thank you to our ranking member. My district sits at the heart of our nation's largest metropolitan area and is home to a major airport, one of our nation's busiest ports, numerous railroads and pipelines, and key industrial facilities, among other critical infrastructure. Securing these facilities requires resources, and for publicly owned critical infrastructure, those resources have often been lacking. As part of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, Congress provided $1 billion to establish the state and local cybersecurity grant program. State and local governments can use this funding to strengthen the OT security of publicly owned critical infrastructure. Unfortunately, under current law, the program is set to expire in just over 2 months. Ms. Bolton, I have a question for you. How important is it to continue funding for the state and local cybersecurity grant program?
I think it's critical to continue that funding. I mentioned in my testimony that a third of districts around the country are rural districts, and obviously that's not the case for your district, but I think it's still incredibly important. There are not only large ports and airports in your district, but also smaller entities, and those are the ones that really desperately need help. I will add to your question earlier as well that CISA has released a top 5 OT cybersecurity guide, so I think that also can help to provide guidance to those entities as to what they can use their cybersecurity spend on. And at OTCC, we're also working on guidance as well.
Thank you. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on how should state and local governments prioritize their resources to strengthen their OT security?
So I think it's very important to start at the very beginning. We do know some of the controls that work, and so we should put those in place. Multi-factor authentication, segmenting, even micro-segmentation of networks, making sure that we are securing remote access. And also I'd add that most of the attacks that are happening on our critical infrastructure aren't 0 days. They're not the most sophisticated vulnerability or the most sophisticated attacks. They are using things that we've seen before, sometimes not changed at all, sometimes mildly changed. And we continue to be hit by these attacks. I think, for example, CISA releases a top 12 cyber vulnerabilities, top 12 routinely exploited vulnerabilities list. Why would the government or any state entity still be able to buy those products off of that list? If one side of the government is saying these are commonly and routinely exploited, we should never be allowed to buy those. So things like that, I think, are extremely important.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the witnesses for being here today, for providing testimony, and I really do appreciate the chairman and the ranking members, steadfast focus on this issue, and also being supporters of the reauthorizing of the state and local cybersecurity grant program. So I look forward to continuing to work with both of you in this committee to provide state and local governments the resources they so desperately need to secure their critical infrastructure. With that, I yield back.
Will the gentlewoman yield? Can I borrow your minute?
Sure.
This is piggybacking off one of the questions you asked. You said CISA listed 5 things as well. Is it the exact same list as what you're saying?
No, it is not. This is another issue that we have.
Okay, so there's a problem. Now I'm taking 2 lists
Yep.
and saying, here you go. And then that is an issue.
Absolutely.
On top of those 2 and the 10,000, 100 million that everybody else brings to you, and for a poor district like ours, here we go. Thank you very much.
Well, and I will say this, the cybersecurity industry as a whole is aligned on things like implementing multi-factor authentication, network segmentation, continuous monitoring and detection. But there are sort of these conflicting guidances that do exist. Same with frameworks, conflicting frameworks for OT. So the people in your district or the operators in your district that are trying to just do the right thing, they don't know where to start.
Correct.
And especially when it's like NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0, there's like 80 pages, right? People who are running these OT networks don't have don't have the knowledge to read through an 80-page document and know where to start. So one of the things is, like NIST is creating some quick start guides. I think that would be very important to do for OT security.
Thank you. I yield back. Thank you, ma'am.
Generally yields. And thank you very much for your enthusiasm about state and local, the grant program. I hope it's something that we can get reauthorized right away. I think it's could be a very big bipartisan issue.